It is 3 in the morning on a Tuesday. The power has been out for 6 days. You are sitting in the dark in your own living room, listening to someone try your back door handle. Not rattling it, trying it. Slowly, quietly. The way someone does when they do not want you to hear. Your phone is dead. The nearest police station has not answered a call in 48 hours. And that handle is still turning. Now here's the question that separates the people who make it through from the people who do not. What do you do in the next 4 seconds? Not 4 hours. Not 4 days. 4 seconds. Because that is how long you have. Between the moment someone breaches your door and the moment they are standing in your hallway. I made this video so that when those 4 seconds come, you already know the answer. Today, we are breaking down a complete, layered system for defending your home during a prolonged crisis, and every single step in it can be done by one person on a budget starting this weekend. Let us begin with the part almost everyone skips. Your home is not a fortress. It was never designed to be one. It was designed to keep out rain and hold up a mortgage. Your front door, the one you feel so safe behind, is typically held in place by a strike plate attached with screws that are 3/4 of an inch long. A grown adult can kick through that in one try. Sometimes two if the frame is solid. So before we talk about anything else, we talk about hardening what you already have. Replace those short screws in every exterior door strike plate with 3-inch screws that bite into the stud behind the frame. This costs you about $4 at any hardware store in 15 minutes with a screwdriver. It will not make your door invincible, but it will turn a 1-kick entry into a 5-kick entry. And 5 kicks is loud. 5 kicks gives you time. Time is the entire game here. Every layer of defense you build is not about stopping someone permanently. It is about buying seconds. Seconds to wake up. Seconds to move. Seconds to respond. Now, let us talk about what the real threat actually looks like, because most people get this completely wrong. The internet is full of content about defending your home against roving gangs of armed raiders, organized militias, waves of desperate attackers. Here is what actually happens in real-world grid-down events. After Hurricane Katrina, the primary threat to occupied homes was small groups of 1 to 3 opportunists, mostly checking for empty houses to loot. After the 2021 Texas grid failure, the same pattern. 1 or 2 people trying doors, looking for easy targets. They are not looking for a fight. They are looking for a house that looks empty, unlocked, and easy. Your job is to make sure your house is none of those things. This brings us to the concept I want you to remember. Layered deterrence. You do not need to win a war. You need to convince the person outside that your house is more trouble than the one next door. Layer 1 is visibility. A house that looks occupied is a house most opportunists will skip. Battery-powered lights on timers. A radio playing at low volume. Signs of activity. During the 2003 Northeast blackout, homes that had visible candlelight or lantern light in the windows reported dramatically fewer intrusion attempts than homes that went completely dark. The math is simple. Darkness says nobody is home. Light says someone is watching. If you live in an apartment, this matters even more. A battery-powered LED lantern near a window, visible from the hallway or the street, does real work for you. Layer 2 is sound. A dog is the single most effective home security system ever invented. This is not opinion. Insurance data has backed this up for decades. A barking dog tells an intruder 3 things. Someone is home. They have been detected. And something unpleasant is between them and what they want. You do not need a trained attack dog. You need a dog that barks when someone approaches. A 12-pound terrier with an attitude problem has stopped more burglaries than every alarm system combined. If you do not have a dog, a battery-powered motion alarm on your entry points does a similar job. $15. No installation. It screams when someone crosses the beam. The sound alone will send most people running because they have just lost the only advantage they had, which was surprise.
Layer 3 is physical barriers, and this is where we slow down and get practical. You do not need razor wire. You do not need an underground bunker. You need to make entry difficult and noisy. Security film on ground floor windows. This is a thick, transparent adhesive sheet that holds broken glass in place. Someone can hit the window and it will crack, but it will not shatter open. It turns a 2-second entry into a 30-second struggle, and 30 seconds of noise is an eternity when you are trying to break into an occupied home. Door reinforcement kits, these are steel plates that bolt over your existing deadbolt and frame. They distribute the force of a kick across a wider area. $40 to $60. A drill and 20 minutes. For sliding glass doors, a cut broomstick in the track. Your grandfather did this. It still works. Physics does not negotiate with fashion. Now we arrive at the part people get excited about and usually get wrong. What happens when the layers fail and someone is inside your home? First, let us be honest about firearms. If you own one, it is a tool, not a magic wand. And like every tool, it is useless if you have not practiced with it, cannot access it quickly, or do not understand when to use it. A firearm locked in a safe in the bedroom closet does you no good if someone is in your kitchen and you are in the living room. A firearm you have not fired in 2 years is a liability dressed up as a solution. If you choose to keep a firearm for home defense, 3 things must be true. You can access it in under 10 seconds in the dark. You have practiced with it recently enough that your hands know what to do without your brain getting in the way. And you know your home's layout well enough to know what is behind every wall you might fire through, because bullets do not stop at drywall. If a firearm is not an option for you, and for many people it is not, then your plan shifts to a concept the military calls defense in depth. You do not defend the whole house. You defend one room. Pick one interior room with a solid door, a lock, a phone charging solution, and anything you need for the night. This is your safe room. Not a bunker. Not a panic room from a movie. Just the room you go to. You lock the door, you call for help if communication is available, and you wait. Most home intruders during a crisis are not there to hurt you. They are there to take things. A locked interior door tells them someone is on the other side of it, and the risk just went up dramatically. Let them take the canned goods. You can replace canned goods. You cannot replace yourself. Now, the mistakes. Mistake 1. They announce what they have. You spent 6 months building a food supply, and then told your entire neighborhood about it. Congratulations. You have painted a target on your front door. Keep your preparations private. Quiet mouths get fed. Loud ones get visitors. Mistake 2. They rely on one layer. A gun is not a plan. A lock is not a plan. A plan is light, sound, barriers, response, and fallback, all working together. Mistake 3. They forget about their own visibility at night. You are standing in a lit room, looking out a dark window. You cannot see anything, but anyone outside can see you perfectly. Turn off interior lights before you look out. This is basic, and almost everyone forgets it. Mistake 4. They have no communication plan with neighbors. In a prolonged outage, the safest street is the one where 5 houses are watching out for each other. One person staying awake is exhausting. 5 people taking shifts is sustainable. Talk to your neighbors now, while the lights are still on. Mistake 5. They do not know their own home in the dark. Walk your house tonight with the lights off. Count the steps from your bed to your safe room.
Find every piece of furniture you will trip over. Do it now while it is a game, so it is not a catastrophe later. Mistake 6. They plan to fight, but have no plan to leave. Every defensive position needs an exit. If you live in a house, know 2 ways out. If you are in an apartment, know where the stairwells are and which neighbors you trust. Defending in place is the first option. Leaving is always on the table. Here is what you do right now. Today, after this video, replace your exterior door strike plate, screws with 3-inch screws. Put a battery-powered motion alarm on your most vulnerable entry point. Walk your home in the dark and count your steps to your safe room. Talk to at least one neighbor about checking on each other during an emergency. Charge a backup battery pack and keep it plugged in near your bed. If you own a firearm, handle it this week, clean it, and practice your access drill. Put a flashlight in every room, not just the bedroom. None of this requires a bunker. None of it requires an escape tunnel. None of it requires being 25 years old with perfect knees. It requires about $40 one afternoon and the willingness to take your own safety seriously while everything still works. Because here's the thing nobody on the internet wants to say. Most of this is not about combat. It is not about being the toughest person on the block. It is about being the house that says, clearly and quietly, someone is home, someone is paying attention, and this is not the easy target you were hoping for. That message, delivered through light and sound and a door that does not give on the first kick, is worth more than every piece of tactical equipment ever sold on the internet. This is not paranoia. This is what a responsible adult does when they understand that the systems we depend on are exactly as fragile as they look. So let me ask you something. Have you walked your home in the dark yet? And if not, what are you waiting for? See you in the next one. Stay ready.